Taehyung was waiting for Y or N, leaning his back on the car. He saw her coming, but his heart broke when he saw that man is wrapping his arms around her shoulder and she isn't saying anything. Taehyung looked at the other side and opened the car door for Y or N. Mark, you must be her driver. You can go back. I'll drop my soon-to-be wife home. And don't forget to attend our wedding. You'll get good food there. Taehyung nodded, gulping the lump on his throat. He saw her going inside that man's car with broken heart. The cloudy sky made a roar and big raindrops started falling over Taehyung, making him soaked in a minute. After coming back home, Y or N directly went to her parents' room. Y or N, Mom, I want to talk with you about something. Her mother was talking on a phone call, so she signed Y or N to stay quiet. After some time, she cut the call and looked at Y or N, who's nervously biting her nails. Mrs. Parker, now tell me, dear, what you want to talk. Y or N, Mom, that Mark isn't a good man. He hooked up with many girls before. Mrs. Parker, so? Y or N, what do you mean by so? You want me to marry a guy like him? Her mother smiled and make her sit on the bed. Mrs. Parker, listen, dear, everyone have bad habits and they change by the flow of time. Y or N, what do you mean? Mrs. Parker, I talked to Mark before fixing your marriage and he promised me that he won't hook up with anyone after marriage. He will be loyal to you, YN, and you agreed to marry me with him. Mrs. Parker, yes, dear, but yeah, if does anything bad with you, we'll bring you back from him. Y or N, is it necessary to marry him? Mom, can't we back off? Mrs. Parker, no. Y or N, how can you say this? We already informed about your wedding to the media. Our investors and business partners are invited. Do you have any idea about the consequences? Our reputation will be ruined. YN's eyes filled with tears hearing her mother. Y or N looked at her mother's eyes and asked, Y or N, is your reputation is more important than your daughter's life? Mrs. Parker looked at the other side and spoke. Mrs. Parker, go to your room. Y or N, we will left for the wedding venue in an hour. Y or N chuckled sadly and wiped her tears. Y or N, you know, Mom, there's a boy I love. I love him a lot, but one day he played with my feelings for a stupid prank. You know what I did next? I kick him on his face. I even broke his heart badly just because he make fun of my love. But here my own mother is making fun of my life and I have to marry a man who doesn't respect girls. Maybe it was in my fate. She get up and walk out from her mother's room. Y or N is staring at the mirror wearing the wedding gown Taehyung chose for her. Her makeup artist and hairstylist just left few minutes ago after giving her a full look of a bride. They work for hours to enhance her beauty, but still she's looking sad and broken. A bride should be happy, right? Y or N wiped her tears and forced a smile. Here Taehyung is running here and there with other servants, being all busy. And why not? It's a grand wedding, so many big people will come to attend the wedding. So he's very busy arranging everything for the wedding of the love of his life. Gulping down the lump of his throat, he's doing each and every work with a smile on his lips. YN's father came and handed Taehyung some boxes. Mr. Parker, these are the gifts from YN's grandparents. They are so precious and I can't keep it with other gifts, so give it to Y or N directly. Taehyung, me? Mr. Parker, yes, you. I can't go now, guests started coming, I have to attend them. Saying that he walk away. Taehyung bite his lower lips and walk towards YN's dressing room. Taehyung knocked on the door of YN's dressing room and heard a soft coming from inside. He take a deep breath and opened the door before going in. There she is, sitting in front of the mirror like a white fairy who just fall from the sky after losing her wings. Taehyung felt his eyes become blessed after seeing her. Most beautiful bride in this world. But alas, she isn't his. Y or N was also staring at him through the mirror. Taehyung started taking slow steps towards her. She also climbed down from the chair and turned to him. Taehyung stopped in front of her and placed the boxes in the table next to her. Taehyung, your grandparents send this for you. Y or N nodded slowly and Taehyung turned around to leave, but he stopped suddenly and looked back at Y or N again. Taehyung, congratulations. YN, the thanks. Taehyung, I brought a small gift for you, but it's nothing in front of the other's gift, so I can't put it with them. Can I give it to you directly? Y or N nodded her head and Taehyung put his hand inside his pockets. After searching for few seconds, he take out a small velvet box. Taehyung, this This is for you. Y or N take the box and open it. She saw small pearl earrings which is shining in the lights. Taehyung, I'm sorry, this is all I can effort. You can't throw it. If you don't like it, I won't mind. Y or N, I love it. It's the best gift I received. Taehyung, glad to hear. I'm going then, bye. Y or N nodded her head slowly. Taehyung was about to leave, but he stopped again. Taehyung, you're looking beautiful. Y or N, thanks, Taehyung. Okay then, bye. Suddenly Y or N hugged him very tightly and whispered in his ear. Y or N, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Taehyung broke the hug and cupped her face. Taehyung wiped her tears with his thumbs and spoke. Taehyung, may good fortune smile upon you as you take step in your marriage life. Saying that, he pecked her forehead, causing her to close her eyes. He detached himself from her and walked out from the room. Y or N turned towards the mirror again and replaced the big expensive diamond earrings with the little pearl earrings given by Taehyung. She smiled seeing the small earrings shining in her ear. Taehyung come outside and noticed the environment is looking tense. Y or N parents and Amanda is talking with a serious face. He walked towards them and spoke. Taehyung, what happened? Amanda, the wedding cake fall from a maid's hand, and now everything is ruined. Mr. Parker, now our daughter's grand wedding will happen without a cake. Mrs. Parker, stop joking. It's a serious situation. Taehyung, don't worry, I will go and bring another cake. Mr. Parker, are you sure? 'Cause the time is short. Mrs. Parker, he can do it. I know he can do it. Taehyung dear, please bring a best cake as soon as possible before the wedding ends. Taehyung, I will be back. Saying that, he run to the car. Taehyung brought the cake and now he's heading back to the venue again. Suddenly it started raining. He switched on the wipers of the car but it doesn't move. Taehyung, oh great, now the wiper is not working. The raindrops make the car glasses blur, making Taehyung unable to see anything. Still, he tried to drive with the little vision, but the glasses started getting more blur with every raindrops. Now Taehyung isn't seeing anything because of the raindrops. Suddenly another car come from the opposite direction and hit Taehyung's car. The glass broke and Taehyung's head bumped with the steering wheel hardly. Glass pieces also stabbed in his skin. In a blink, Taehyung's whole face got covered with blood. He looked at the rain and saw Y or N in it. She's coming towards him wearing the white gown. He smiled and slowly closed his teary eyes. Y or N winced in pain as she got a cut in her finger with the sharp edge of her hair clip. Blood drop fall on her white gown. She take the tissue paper and wipe the blood from her finger. The door opens and her parents walk in. Mr. Parker, time to walk in the aisle, princess. They walk towards her. Y or N mother noticed the cut in her finger. She take out a band-aid from her purse and stick it in her cut. She tried to hold her cheeks but Y or N turned her face to the other side. Mrs. Parker take her hand back, understanding she's angry on her. Mrs. Parker, I didn't even realize when my little daughter grow up. YN, how will you notice when you were busy making your business and reputation all the time, she said coldly. Mr. Parker, Y or N, are you angry on you mother? Y or N, no, I'm not angry on her only. I'm angry on both of you. You never give me time, and when I grow up you becomes busy to get me married. Am I a burden on you? She said, and at this point her tears started falling. Her parents were taken aback seeing her sudden outburst. Mrs. Parker, Y or N sweetheart, YN, let's go, we're getting late. Saying that, she walked out from the room. Y or N is walking in the aisle holding her father's hand. Her groom is standing in front but her eyes looking for someone else among the people who's present here. Her father give her hand to Mark and the priest started reading the vows. Y or N spotted an Amanda. She received a call and then started crying after hearing something from the other side. Amanda ran out from the venue while crying. Y or N felt an unknown fear rising inside her. She looked around to see Taehyung for once, but he is nowhere to be seen. Suddenly YN's mother come to the stage and shake her a little. Mrs. Parker, Y or N, the priest is asking you something, she whispered in her ear. Y or N look at the priest and he spoke again. Priest, Y or N, Parker, do you take Mark Albert as your lawful husband? Y or N ignore his words and turn back to her mother again. Y or N, Mom, why Aunt Amanda was crying and why did she left like this? Mrs. Parker, Y or N, it's not a time to ask question like this, she yelled at her. Y or N, no mom, please tell me what happened, she begged. Mrs. Parker, Okay fine. Taehyung got into an accident. Yen's heart skipped its beat hearing it. She felt her blood is running in the opposite direction. Everything around her started spinning. Her knees become weak. She fall on the floor and everything become dark. Yen gasped and opened her eyes. She looked around and found herself in a room. She looked at the side and saw her parents. Mrs. Parker. Oh dear, you wake up. I'm going to tell the guests that you're fine now. We'll start the wedding ceremony in few minutes. Her mother left the room, leaving her alone with her father. Suddenly Yen remembers something and become panic again. Yen. Taehyung. How's Taehyung? Where's he? Mr. Parker. Calm down, princess, he's absolutely fine. He got head injury, but that wasn't much serious. The doctors already discharged him. And you know what, he's here with you wedding cake. Yen. Wedding. Mr. Parker. Today is your wedding, remember? You suddenly fainted during the wedding vows. We called the doctor and he said you get a panic attack. Yen. Oh, Taehyung is fine, right? She said while getting up from the laying position and sit on the bed resting her back. Mr. Parker. Yes dear, he's fine, don't worry. But tell me honestly, Yen, why did you get panic attack? Is it because of your wedding or after hearing about Taehyung's accident? Yen. Dad, Mr. Parker. You still love Taehyung, right? Look, I know what he did was wrong. He shouldn't make fun of your love because of a prank, but I think he got enough punishment now. Yen quickly looked up at his father's face hearing him. Yen. How did you know about that, Mr. Parker? I have my own way, Yen gasped after understanding about it. Yen. You spy on me? Mr. Parker. Come on, Yen, you're my only child. I'm always worried about you. Yen. But that doesn't mean you will spy on me. Suddenly the door opens and her mother walk in. Mrs. Parker. Yen, let's go, the guests are waiting for so long. Mr. Parker. You go, I will bring her with me. Mrs. Parker nodded and left from there. Mr. Parker looked at Yen and spoke. Mr. Parker. Okay, you have two options. 1. Go with me to the wedding hall and marry that jerk, and 2. Run away from this stupid marriage with the man you love. Yen. Dad. Mr. Parker. Taehyung is waiting on the backside of the venue with my new car. You don't have much time. Take your decision. I'm waiting outside. Saying that, he walked to the door and turned back at Yen again. Mr. Parker. If you want to run away, use the window, not the door. He winked at his daughter and out from the room. Mr. Parker is waiting for Yen since 5 minutes, standing outside the room. After 2 more minutes, he opened the door and saw the room is empty. He smiled brightly. Rising her gown a little, Yen is running to the back door of the venue as fast as she could. Suddenly she stopped hearing a weird noise. She stopped and hid behind a wall. She peeked from there and scrunched her nose in disgust. Seeing Mark making out with a maid, she again started running to the back door. But Mark noticed her. Mark. Miss Parker, where are you going? Yen roll her eyes and look back at him. Yen. I'm running away from the marriage jerk. Mark. What? You can't do that. Yen. I can't do even more. Saying that, she opened her shoes and throw it to Mark's face. He yelped in pain. Yen. You deserve it, man whore. Saying that, she run from there, knowing now Mark will inform this to everyone. Taehyung was standing in the backside of the venue, leaning his back on the car. A big band-aid is wrapped around his forehead. Taehyung doesn't know what he's doing here. Yen's father just ordered him to stay in the backside of the venue with his car. He asked him why, but Mr. Parker just said, you will know soon. Well, it's good for him. He don't have to witness Yen's marriage now. Maybe she already get married with the rich guy. Taehyung's heart become more heavy just by imagining Yen with someone else. Suddenly he saw Yen running towards him. He stands straight and rubbed his eyes, thinking he's hallucinating. But he becomes shocked when Yen jumped on him and hugged him tightly. She kissed his cheeks and spoke. Yen. Thank God you're fine. I got so afraid after hearing about your accident. Taehyung was so much stunned to react. Yen should be with her newlywed husband right now, but instead she's in his arms. Taehyung come back to his sense when he heard some uproar from inside the venue. Yen quickly broke the hug. Yen. Oh no, they found out that I run away. Taehyung. You what? Yen opened the car door and pushed Taehyung on the driver's seat. She also went inside with the same door. and started crawling to the passenger seat over Taehyung. He yelped in pain when her knees poke his thigh. Her dress was all over his face. Taehyung, ouch. Watch your big ass dress. Y or N? Sorry. She sit on the driver's seat and turned towards Taehyung. Y or N? Do you want invitation to start the car? Taehyung, you didn't tell me where will I go. Y or N? Just go wherever you want before they see us. Mrs. Parker, Y or N step outside the car right now. Y or N widened her eyes seeing her mother coming here with Mark and his parents behind. Y or N? For God's sake move the damn car. Taehyung, fine, but first wear your seatbelt. Y or N quickly wear her seatbelt and Taehyung drive away. They come to the main road when Taehyung asks again. Taehyung, now tell me where will I take you? Y or N? I don't know. I run away from my wedding with you so you'll figure it out where you want to take me. Taehyung glared at Y or N and spoke. Taehyung, what you mean by you run away with me? You literally forced me to take you out from there. Y or N opened her mouth to say something when Taehyung's phone rang. Y or N? Oh, it's my dad, saying that she take his phone and receive the call before putting it on the speaker. Y or N? Hey dad, don't worry. I successfully run away from there. Mr. Parker. No you didn't. Your mother in from the town police and tell them to find you. I'm sure they're behind you now. As soon as he said that Y or N heard sirens. She looked back and saw 2 police cars are behind them. Y or N? Taehyung cops are behind us. Drive faster. Mr. Parker, Taehyung just left the town as soon as possible and yeah don't use your phone. You might get tracked. Y or N? Got it dad. Saying that she cut the call and throw his phone from the window. Taehyung. Hey, why did you do that? He yelled. YN, didn't you heard what dad said? Taehyung doesn't argue more and concentrate on the road. Now it's dawn already. The sun is slowly rising. They left the town half an hour ago. The car is smoothly running in between the forest. Y or N sign in relief realizing they're safe now. She looked at Taehyung who's driving the car with straight face. She was staring at the band-aid in his forehead. Y or N? Is it hurting much? She asked in a soft tone but Taehyung doesn't reply which make her sad. After some times he stopped the car and spoke. Taehyung, I need rest. Saying that he rested his head in the seat and closed his eyes. Y or N leaned to him. Y or N? Are you feeling sick? Is your head hurting? She was about to touch his cheeks but he yanked his hand away. Taehyung, don't talk to me. Y or N? Why are you getting angry? What did I do? Taehyung, what did you do? Y or N you're asking me what did you do after creating a big mess? When I told you to cancel the marriage you didn't listen to me. And now you run away from the marriage taking me with you. Do you have any idea about the consequences of this? Y or N? Everything will be fine I'm sure. Taehyung, yeah everything will be fine but for you not for us. You're rich you can solve every problem with money no one will ask you questions but what about us? Y or N I just left my mother there. Now everyone knows you run away with your driver who's your maid's son. And they will punish her for this. Y or N? And Amanda will be fine I'm sure. My dad is with us. Taehyung, I don't think she's fine. Your mother won't spare her. Maybe they sent her to the jail because of me. Y or N? You're thinking too much. Taehyung, I just don't trust rich people. They're selfish. Y or N? If you think so then you don't have to go with me anywhere anymore. Just leave me here and go back. Tell everyone that I forced you to help me in running. Saying that she opened the car door and went outside. Taehyung rubbed his face feeling frustrated. He also come out from the car and run after Y or N who's walking aimlessly in the forest road. He hold her wrist and make her turn towards him. Taehyung wiped the tears from her face and peeked her forehead. Taehyung, I'm sorry. My mother is my only family Y or N. I love you but I love her too. I can't bear if something happens with her. I can't never forgive myself. Y or N? And Amanda is fine. I trust my dad. Taehyung, then I'm trusting him too. Now, let's go in the car. He tried to take her with him holding her wrist but Y or N freed herself from his soft grip and started walking away. Taehyung, Y or N where are you going? She looked back at him with red face and said, Y or N? I have to pee. Taehyung, oh, he said nervously scratching his head. After that they sit on the back seat of the car to take a short nap. After 2 hours, Taehyung wake up feeling something ticklish on his face. He tried to move that thing, but it was way too big. He groaned and opened his eyes. Taehyung found himself wrapped under Yn's dress. He tried to free himself, but it gets more tangled. He scoffed in annoyance. Taehyung, Yn, wake up. Y or N? What? Taehyung, I get stuck in your dress. Y or N? What? She opened her eyes and found herself half laying in the back seat of the car, but she couldn't find Taehyung. Y or N? Taehyung, where are you? Taehyung, I'm here under your dress. Y or N? Gasp, what are you doing under my dress, pervert? Taehyung, it's you who trapped me in there. Now remove that big ass dress from me, I can't breathe. Y or N? Well, you are the one who chose this big ass dress for me, remember? She said while looking for him in her dress. Taehyung, I'm regretting badly now. Y or N removed her dress from him and he started taking deep breaths after coming out. Taehyung, now I realize how freedom feels like. Y or N? Drama, she said and rolled her eyes. Her stomach growled suddenly and she became red. Taehyung, what, your stomach just growled because you're hungry, but you're reacting like this as if I caught you being horny. Y or N? You dirty-minded man, I'll block your breathing with my dress again. Taehyung chuckled and sit on the driver's seat. He drive to the nearby town. The first thing Y or N do after reaching the town was to call her father. She used the telephone of the small restaurant. Y or N? Dad, it's me, Y/N. Mr. Parker. Thank God you called me. I was very worried. Where are you right now? Y or N? Taehyung, bring me in a small town near the forest. Mr. Parker. Good. Where is Taehyung? Y or N? He's with me. Dad, how's Aunt Amanda? Mom doesn't did anything to her, right? Mr. Parker. She's fine. I sent her to your grandparents' farmhouse. You can meet her there. Now can you please give the phone to Taehyung? Y or N? Dad wants to talk with you, she said, giving him the telephone receiver and walked towards a table to order food. Taehyung. Hello, sir. Mr. Parker. First tell me, where are you guys? Taehyung. We're in Iristown. Mr. Parker. Take Y or N to the Reverie Village. Yn's grandparents own a farmhouse. You guys will be safe there. Taehyung. But that place is very far from here. Mr. Parker. I know it will take 12 hours, but we don't have any other way. The media also got to know about Y or N. And if someone can find Y or N, her mother announced prize money for him. Everyone in this town is looking for you guys like crazy. Taehyung. How can she do this with her own daughter? Mr. Parker. She's a cunning businesswoman who just think about profit, nothing else. Now listen to me carefully, don't take the car with you. Just leave it in Iristown cause the cops are also finding the car. Taehyung. Don't worry, we'll take the bus. Mr. Parker. There's money in the glove compartment in the car. Taehyung. I have some money with me. I don't need it. Mr. Parker. But that's your salary. I kept it in the glove compartment cause I knew you'll need it for your bride today. Taehyung blushed after her father mentioned Y or N as his bride. Mr. Parker now left the place as soon as possible before the news gets spread more. Saying that, he cut the call. Taehyung looked at Y or N, who's staring at the menu. He walked towards her and sit on the chair. Y or N? What would you like to eat? Taehyung. Anything you order. After having their breakfast, Taehyung take the money from glove compartment. He never imagined he will get his first salary like this. They started walking on the road. Y or N? Why are we walking? Taehyung. Cause we can't take the car with us anymore. They will find us. Y or N? Then where are we going? Taehyung. We're going to your grandparents' farmhouse at Reverie Village. Y or N? Oh, and Amanda is also there. When is the flight? Taehyung. No, Y or N, we're not going there by airplane. We're going there by road. Y or N? By road. How? Taehyung. First we will take a bus from here. The bus will take us to the railway station. And by train we will directly go to the village. Y or N? Where's the bus? Taehyung. In the bus stop. Y or N? And where's the bus stop? Taehyung. We're going there. It will take us 10 to 12 minutes to walk. Y or N? 10 to 12 minutes to walk. Taehyung. What happened? Why did you stop suddenly? Y or N? Nothing, let's go. They started walking again. Taehyung noticed Y or N is struggling while walking. He stopped, making her stop as well. Taehyung raised Yn's dress a little bit and saw she's barefoot. Her leg got bruises because of walking in the hard concrete road barefooted. Taehyung, where's your shoes? Y or N? I throw them on Mark Albert's face. Taehyung, you mean the guy you are going to marry? Y or N nodded her head. Taehyung, why? You run away from the marriage, so there was no need to hit that poor guy. Y or N, poor guy. He's not a poor guy, he's a man whore. Taehyung nodded his head and take off his shoes. He sit on his knees and clean the dust from her foot. Taehyung, here wear them, you already got bruises in your foot. Y or N, aw, you're so sweet, but you will get hurt if you walk barefoot. I have a better idea instead. Taehyung look up at her face. Y or N, you can carry me bridal style or give me piggyback ride. I'm comfortable at both. Taehyung look at her in disbelief. He make her wear his shoes and stand straight. Taehyung, it's better to walk barefoot. Y or N, rude. You think I'm heavy? Taehyung, you're not a baby, that you'll be lightweight. And besides, I'm sure this big ass dress you wearing is heavier than you. Y or N, again, you are the one who choose this big ass dress for me, you rude man. Saying that, she started walking again. Taehyung sighed and followed her. After walking for some time, Taehyung looked back at Y or N, who's walking very slowly. Taehyung, Y or N, can you please walk a little bit faster? We'll miss our bus like this. Y or N, I can't, because this big ass dress which you choose for me and the shoes you give me to wear is double from my feet. Taehyung take a deep breath and walk back to Y or N. He bent down a little and carry Y or N in his arms. Y or N, now why did you carry a heavy girl like me? Taehyung, just be quiet. Y or N, rude. She pouted and looked away. They reach to the bus stop and the bus arrives. Taehyung hold Yin's dress from behind and she climbed into the bus. Everyone in the bus is staring at them weirdly. Y or N, that's so embarrassing. Taehyung, that's why I told you to call off the wedding before. Now bear the mess. They climbed down from the bus as they reached at their destination. Taehyung took Y or N in a shopping mall and brought her comfortable dress and shoes. She washed her face and took off her makeup. Y or N, now I'm feeling free and light. Taehyung, let's go, we're getting late. They come to the railway station. This place is very crowded. Y or N accidentally bumped with a man. Y or N, sorry. Taehyung look at him and he doesn't seems good to him. He hold Yin's hand and walk away from there. The man look at his partner and spoke. Did you see her jewelry, Steve? Steve, yeah, they were looking expensive. Mike, we got a rich cheek today. Taehyung, let's go. I got the tickets. Y or N, I'm thirsty. Taehyung look around and found a vending machine. Taehyung, come, I will brought you something to drink. Y or N, I can't walk more. I'm standing here, you go and bring me something to drink. Taehyung, okay ma'am, but don't go anywhere. Y or N, do I look like a kid to you who will wandering around the station? Taehyung shake his head and walk towards the vending machine. Y or N was staring at Taehyung's back when someone come and stand next to her. She looked at the side and found the man she bumped with few minutes ago. Suddenly he holds something in front of her nose. Y or N felt everything around her started getting dark and she lose her consciousness. After buying orange juice for Y or N, Taehyung walked back to the place where Y or N was standing, but she wasn't there. He look around and get panicked cause Y or N was nowhere to be seen.